of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Councilman Hutchins, please.
Father, again, we thank you for this night, Lord. We thank you for the rain that we've had over the last few days. We just ask that you'll be with us, give us wisdom tonight as we work with the city's business. Be with each and every person here, and I just ask this all in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Davis.
Present.
Hutchins.
Present.
Candia. Mayor Pro Tem Martina.
Present.
Mayor Caden.
Present. Thank you. And I'll report out of closed session. Staff was given direction by City Council. And we'll go to item 5, declaration of conflict of interest. Seeing none, we'll go to item 6, ceremonial matters. Seeing none, we'll go to item 7, item from the public, non-agenda item. Any member wish to address council, now it's time to do it. Seeing none, we'll go to item 8, consent calendar. A is waive all readings of ordinances and resolutions set by title. B is approval of the warrants. C is approval of the minutes of the January 28, 2014 meeting. D is adopt resolution number 2014 next in number, approving the statement of investment policy for the city of Newman. Council direction?
I move that we approve the consent calendar as read.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with Councilmember Candia absent. Item 9, public hearing. A is adopt resolution number 2014 next in number, authorizing the automatic annual inflation adjustment for capital facility and impact fees for the period of March 1, 2014 through February 28, 2015. Lou.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. The City of Newman charges impact fees to developers to pay for all or a portion of the cost providing public service to their new development. These fees are implemented to help reduce the economic burden on our jurisdiction as we deal with population growth within our boundaries. The city adopted Resolution 2002-22 approving a comprehensive update of capital facility impact fees, as well as adopting an automatic adjustment of those fees based on the construction cost index for our area. In the previous 4 years, this index has dropped as much as a negative 0.6% and increased as much as 4.1%. Over those years, our impact fees have been adjusted both up and down in sync with those changes. The adjustment this year is a positive 5.3%. In a vested area, this increases the total impact fees on a low-density residential by $551.06 per unit. These proposed changes are required to be noticed 2 times prior to this meeting. This was done on the 2 previous Thursdays. Staff requests the council open a public hearing to take comment on this item and then vote on its adoption. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions or comments for Lou? Seeing none, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody wish to address council regarding this issue? Seeing none, close the public hearing and bring it back to council for direction.
I so move that we adopt resolution number 2004, next number, authorizing automatic annual inflation adjustments for capital facilities and impact fees for the period of March 1st, 2014 through February 28, 2015.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second has been made. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with Councilmember Candia absent. Item 10, regular business. A, first reading and, thank you, Lou. First reading and introduction of ordinance 2014 next to number, amending Title 11, Public Ways and Property, Chapter 11.11, Conduct in City Parks, Section 11.11.010.x, Prohibited Actions of the Newman City Code.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll take this one. Over the past couple of years, we've seen an increase in the number of travel teams and adult teams that are being formulated in Newman and playing outside this area and playing against other communities. This has led to some conflicts in some of our parks with our city sanctions teams. You heard this item come before you with the plea of some of the soccer teams before, and that was in the fall. You then recommended the Parks and Recreation Commission to look into the matter. They came back with some recommendations, of which you've adopted some of those or directed staff to incorporate those. One of those was a ordinance amendment to our municipal code that dealt with prohibited actions in the parks, what we called organized team activities. We've amended it per our conversation with legal counsel. The new wording is bolded and underlined, and any wording that's being removed is struck and through. The new wording would read, "To use any city-owned property to play or engage in any organized sports play except in such places as are specifically provided or designated for that purpose without first having obtained a permit or an agreement from the city for the use of city-owned property. For the purposes of this subsection, organized sports play shall mean any practice, game, tournament, contest, or any other similar activity in which the time and place of play have been predetermined by either the participants or any other person or organization. The wearing of uniforms shall constitute evidence of organized sports play. This subsection does not apply to city-sponsored and/or approved sports activities and programs." What this is doing then, again, it's putting the teams on notice that they need to go through the city to secure either an agreement or, and get our permission to play on there. They would have to provide proof of insurance and liability insurance, name the city as a co-insured, and a few other things that are going on there. So currently, there's no fiscal impact with this ordinance amendment at this time. However, there may be a cost recovery fee associated with the permits, and we're going to bring that back to you at a later date as our public works staff and our administrative staff work to see what the wear and tear of these would be. So with that, we've worked on this again with our legal counsel, trying to capture the comments that and the direction that the council gave us at the end of calendar year 13, and we're trying to enact that through this new ordinance. So I can take any questions or comments that you have at this time.
Questions or comments from city manager?
I think it's well-written, and it covers just about everything, but it also gives us the opportunity to allow people to do things if they utilize the proper venues and protocols.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Council direction?
I'll introduce ordinance number 2014, next in number, amending Title 11, Public Ways and Property, Chapter 11.11, Conduct in City Parks, Section 11.11.010.x, Prohibited Actions of the Newman City Code.
I second that motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Councilmember Candia absent. Thank you. Item 11, District 5 Supervisor Jim B. Martini. Jim? You okay?
Yeah, eventually I'm going to die.
Don't rush into it.
No, I plan to be around for a while.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor Caton, council members. A lot of things I like about Newman, but one of the things I do appreciate is how you move the council meetings on. As compared to Patterson, his public comment period and the consent calendar lasted an hour and a half last week. So, I tell you, you guys really got it down. Compliment you on that. I'll just be brief. Today I had a meeting with Doctors Hospital. They're one of the board members on the healthcare task force, and they have committed to stay on to the task force, and they're going to work with us now that we're a nonprofit to do some projects, mostly be in youth programs, diet and exercise, and childhood obesity. We really had a very good meeting today, and Keith Boggs was with me. So it'll be more about that as we come up. Our next meeting will be in Gustine, and it will be on March 20th. Anyway, we're moving along now, and now that we're a nonprofit, we're going to start doing some more meaningful projects. I also have a meeting coming up with Del Pueblo Irrigation District this Friday. Excuse me. The water is a critical issue here in the west side, and actually all throughout California. In the irrigation districts have Turlock and Modesto, the water allocation's been cut in half, but Del Puerto Irrigation District has 0 allocation this year at this time, and Westland's the same way. So I don't know what can be done about it, but Del Puerto is looking about buying tertiary water from Turlock and maybe storing it in the San Luis Reservoir and then taking it out in the summer. Personally, I don't believe that can be done that quickly, but that's the direction that they're going. But it certainly is a real critical issue. When you look at how many people are involved in agriculture throughout the county, no allocation of irrigation water is just a disaster. Anyway, so I'm going to meet with them on Friday. And then another issue, the county is opening a psychiatric facility in Ceres on February 25th at 1:30. Public's invited to that. This is in addition to the acute care psychiatric facility that we have in Modesto that's owned by a tenant. And this is for lower level cases where people can be stabilized and don't need medical care. I mean, psychiatric, but not medical care. It's a way to save costs and provide better service for the community. We remodeled the facility and say the grand opening, actually the dedication, because the opening will be on the 1st of March. Dedication will be on March 25th. Okay, that's all I have.
Any questions for Jim?
Just very quick, when you're talking about, the schools and stuff, doing a lot of subbing, I found out charter schools, they don't even have to have physical education in high school.
Yeah.
And, oh, yes, it is. Like Aspire, which is the biggest charter school around here, has no physical education in high school. Oh, now, there are some, but they are not required to have physical education. But it's very interesting because, some of them still do, but it's just interesting, because especially the college prep programs and stuff, they think that the only thing necessary is their studies, and they haven't figured out that the physical goes with the mental. So it's kind of an interesting, and I can just hope that, some of the stuff that we're pushing in the younger ages, we can keep pushing as we get on into the upper echelons.
This is where the task force feels that we have the best opportunity to serve the community. In this county, 40% of the kids that are between 5th, 7th, and 9th grade, is where they did the sampling, 40% are overweight or obese. And it's a combination of lack of physical activity and the diet, the high sugar, high fat diets, and staring in at their telephone all day, texting each other rather than running around the track. That's, I think, part of it. But we're going to try and make a difference. So,
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Okay, item 12, items from city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to remind everybody that the City Hall will be closed as part of the federal holiday, Presidential Day. We're currently advertising for a full-time maintenance worker, so that'll be released in our local newspapers as well as a couple of the surrounding newspapers, trying to pull that in. We had been advertising, and now we're in the final stages of hiring a rec assistant. As you know, our current rec assistant's been with us a number of years, Ms. Lopez. She successfully has passed her nursing exam, and I think she's going to be taking a job here in the next month or two, so we're just preparing for that. And then lastly, we just continue to work with Stanislaus County and StanCog regarding the South County corridor, as well as Crow's Landing Air Base as part of those two projects that are coming here to the west side. Both of them, I think, are well needed to the corridor to link the east side to the west side. We're trying to have conversations with StanCog and the county staff about what we believe is the need to tap into southbound I-5. Currently, if you're going to Stanislaus County, you're trying to go southbound I-5, you really take Lander. It's probably one of the main corridors there, so if we can improve that. Maybe Crow's Landing to Fink is a way to do that, I don't know. As opposed to maybe just, current alignment of South County corridor is Main Street, and then you veer north of Patterson and go to Zacharias. To us, that's a little bit of duplication, because 132 is only 20 miles away. So, what are you really accomplishing with that? particular corridor, so we'll see how that goes. But that's all that I had right now, Mayor.
Any questions or comments for city manager?
Just one comment, Michael. You know, Canal School Road, the paving, is that city in, right there by the housing project, first one?
Yeah, it'll be paving from, city, from Inyo to Hills Ferry.
Oh, they are?
So that's our land.
Okay.
We just did a pavement management system
Okay.
and a review of all of our right-of-ways, and we're going to have to
Okay, thank
look
you.
into where we're at there with potholes. It gets a lot of traffic.
Yeah. I just wonder how well that's worked as far as the speed bumps and everything, because I get the impression when I drive along there that people are more aware of their speed, and that they do slow down. I don't know if that's factual, or if there's any, well, the chief's nodding his head yes, so.
It is. We've done several surveys throughout day shift, swing shift, and graveyard for the last probably month and a half. And they're estimating the ranges of cars. The highest I'm seeing on a daily basis is 52 miles an hour. And they're sitting back to where you can't see them, so those are average speeds of a normal traffic because they're not being able to see a patrol car and they're not slowing down for the patrol car. So it seems to be working at this point.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I think it'd still be, I think, a good idea if we would still think about those rumble strips on the city, inside the city property on, just as they enter that first residential area.
And our public works staff is still looking into that. We're
Yeah.
also looking at doing them, coming into town on Hills Ferry as well.
Yeah, that'll help.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. Okay, go to city staff. Chief, might as well go ahead and continue.
I just have one announcement. It's that time of year again, crab feed's coming up. Tickets went on sale, so they're available at the police department, and they're available at Chevron and Madhouse Newspaper. It will be April 26th at the FDS Hall again this year, so get your tickets early. It's been selling out the last couple of years and been extremely full. So also, we have dogs for adoption. You can find them on Facebook and Pet Finder, so if you're looking for a companion, that's a good spot to find one. And that's all I have. I'll answer any questions.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you. Stephanie, anything?
Just a few things. I wanted to let the council know that the Architectural Review Committee approved the revised villas elevations on January 30th. The Land and Water Conservation Fund grant application that the council approved was submitted on February 3rd. The Recreation Coordinator and I are now working on another grant application for the Skate Plaza. We're in the beginning stages of it, so it's still very preliminary. And wanted to let the council know that the City of Newman has started its GIS internship process with Stanislaus Stay. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, we had some local college students plot a bunch of GIS points here in town. We're currently finalizing an MOU for this semester, and you'll be seeing those students out and about coming up here in the next few weeks.
Great.
That's all I had. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions, comments for Stephanie? All right, Lou?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing? Kasum?
Yeah, good evening. I have just a brief update on water conservation. So, as we stated last council meeting, the city is saving about 20% for the water, the parks irrigation. Along with the water conservation, so cities recently completed assessment of water well number 5, of which capacity has been reduced up to 50%. That's a part of our concern, even though it's not being used every day. There's a backup water well. However, we are going to provide the full assessment of the water well and repair that one in a timely manner so that we can keep providing the good quality water to the citizen during the summertime. That's what I have.
Great. Okay. Bob, anything?
Nothing tonight.
Roberta?
Nothing.
Bob?
I just have to make a comment. I hope a lot of people have gone to see Grease at the theater. And I think the neatest part of it is they had so many young people involved from the high school, and they just did an outstanding job. I mean, I enjoyed it so much. I don't know if anyone else has gone, but it was well worth going to. And if you missed it, I'm sorry. But we need more things like that to get the young people involved, and it was amazing how well they performed. I mean, they really, I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there, and they finished really strong, too. It was a great evening, so anyway. Just wanted to mention it because I think when we see positive things like that in Newman,
And next year, I know they've got another play they're going to work on, so anyway, more power to them and best of luck.
Yeah, it was a great show. They did a great job. And so you're right, it was well worth going to
Yeah.
see, so
It was
it was good. Okay, I don't have anything, so with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're out of here. Good night.